Crypto, the notion that SEC Chairman Gary Gensler is quitting has swept Twitter. John Deaton, an attorney who is in favor of XRP, has responded on the speculations suggesting that a resignation from Gensler is probable. Following Judge Sarah Netburn's decision about an SEC UV Ripple lawsuit settlement, numerous members of the XRP community have speculated that the parties would soon reach an agreement. To put things in perspective, Judge Netburn instructed the parties Wednesday to agree on 3 mutually agreeable dates for a settlement conference if they feel it would be beneficial at this time. Eleanor Terrett, a Fox Business correspondent, released the paper on Twitter yesterday. Due to the court's hectic schedule, the judge wants the parties to arrange the settlement conference at least 6 to 8 weeks in advance. According to the ruling, the court will not accept any last-minute requests for settlement discussions. It went on to say that the parties should not anticipate a postponement of litigation deadlines as a result of late requests for settlement discussions. Meanwhile, the ruling caused consternation among some XRP aficionados, with many expecting the dispute to be resolved quickly. Terrett, interestingly, resorted to Twitter to explain Judge Netburn's settlement ruling. Judge Netburn's ruling, according to Terrett, does not imply that a settlement will be reached within the next 6 to 8 weeks. She clarified that the decision simply requires the parties to organize a settlement conference 6 to 8 weeks before the preferred date owing to the court's hectic schedule. The notable journalist who has been following the SEC UV Ripple litigation requested that additional attorneys, such as John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan, emphasize what would happen if any of the parties failed to attend the settlement meeting or reach an agreement. To avoid upsetting the court, pro-XRP lawyer Fred Rispoli said that the SEC and Ripple will convene a settlement meeting. However, attorney Rispoli believes the settlement session, like the last two, will be in vain. He went on to say that settlements normally happen when the parties involved achieve a reasonable arrangement. It is worth mentioning that if things go as attorney Rispoli predicted, one or both parties would likely appeal Judge Annalisa Torres' summary judgment ruling. According to attorney Bill Morgan, both sides will appeal Judge Torres' decision. Remember that the much-anticipated summary decision was given by the court, which many perceive as a split triumph. While she determined that Ripple's XRP programmatic sales do not constitute securities, she determined that the company's XRP sales to institutional investors do. Notably, the SEC said in a statement that it is currently evaluating Judge Torres' judgment in order to determine its next course of action. Yesterday, SEC Chair Gary Gensler expressed a similar opinion. According to Gensler, the SEC is upset with the court's decision in the Ripple dispute regarding individual investors. He went on to say that the commission is looking at that section of the decision. Judge Annalisa Torres assigned the U.S. SEC UV Ripple litigation to Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn for general pretrial and potential settlement in the latest court filing in the Southern District of New York. Judge Netburn directed Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to agree on 3 mutually agreeable dates for a settlement conference if they believe it would be productive at this time. Furthermore, since the court has a full calendar, settlement conferences must be planned at least 6-8 weeks in advance. Meanwhile, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse warned that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission would face a lengthy process in appealing the court's judgment. He claims that the court itself referred to institutional sales as the smallest item in the XRP complaint. According to others, the U.S. SEC should settle with both Ripple and Coinbase since pursuing the litigation further would have severe ramifications based on precedents in the XRP dispute. A resolution on concerns such as institutional sales is possible. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, just announced its intention to appeal the judgment in favor of Ripple and XRP given by Judge Annalisa Torres last week. You may remember that Judge Torres decided last week that a significant portion of Ripple's XRP sales over the years are not investment contracts. The newest allegation by SEC is that the judgment has given other defendants battling similar lawsuits hope. Legal counsel for Terraform Labs and Do Kwon, the creator of the imploding Terra blockchain, recently used Ripple and XRP's recent success against the SEC to argue that the agency should drop its action against them. This was first published by Times Tabloid. SEC is reportedly exploring a review of the historic XRP win, as revealed in a tweet just now by James K. Fallon, a defense lawyer and former federal prosecutor. One of the defendants hoping to use Torres' ruling as a weapon against the securities regulator is imprisoned Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon. In a lawsuit submitted to a federal court in Manhattan in February, the SEC accused Kwon of fraud and other breaches of law. The SEC has said that Judge Kwon should not use the Ripple case as precedent in his ruling. The government has said that it would appeal the case since Torres' decision adds unfounded requirements to determining whether or not an asset is a security. Further, the SEC's legal staff claimed that the ruling was impossible to reconcile with all these core securities law principles. When asked about the SEC's prospective court appeal over XRP's classification as a non-security, which was discussed on social media today, John Deaton, one of the XRP community's most prominent legal defenders, did not hold back. The SEC, according to Deaton's forecast, would lose on appeal if they appeal it. Today, the SEC filed a filing detailing the recently concluded Ripple v's SEC case, sparking speculation that the securities regulator will seek to appeal the case to the U.S. Court of Appeals. This paper states that the SEC is considering the various available avenues for further review and intends to recommend that the SEC seek such review. The document in question is part of the ongoing legal battle between the SEC and former Terraform Labs CEO Do Kwon. In a recent tweet, BitBoy, a well-known crypto community influencer and YouTuber, made an interesting prediction regarding the future price of XRP. He forecasted a $15 price objective over the following 18 months, rising to $35 if Ripple's IPO is timed appropriately. BitBoy stressed in the tweet that it is a realistic assumption that XRP will reach $15 in the next 18 months. This is a 17.29 increase in the current value of XRP. BitBoy's estimated price of $15 reflects his conviction in XRP's long-term development potential. This confidence may be motivated by the favorable emotion around the resolution of the litigation and the regulatory certainty it gives to the XRP ecosystem. However, the YouTuber's optimism does not end at $15. He predicted that if Ripple goes forward with its IPO and schedule it perfectly, the price of XRP may rise to $35 to reach $35. To reach $35, XRP would need to increase by 4,168. This optimistic prognosis is based on the belief that an IPO would bring a new wave of investors and mainstream attention. This would be a further impetus for XRP's rising trajectory. In April, BitBoy named XRP as his drone cryptocurrency choice for the upcoming bull run. The influencer anticipated that if the SEC action was successful, the asset would rise. According to him, this would make XRP the sole asset with legal and regulatory certainty. Despite his optimistic view, BitBoy recently recognized the market's inherent instability in a tweet. He expressed concern that the price would not reach the predicted highs. He is certain, though, that XRP will at least surpass its previous all-time high during this market cycle. The influencer also mentioned the potential of the U.S. SEC appealing the latest court verdict. Although BitBoy acknowledged that the odds of this happening are slim, he admitted that only a pointless, vindictive appeal might prevent XRP from breaching its app. It is worth noting that market observers have predicted an SEC appeal. SEC chairperson Gary Gensler has indicated dissatisfaction with portions of the order, implying more action. BitBoy's most recent comment on XRP's chances came in response to a query from Evan Luthra, an experienced angel investor and serial entrepreneur. Luthra emphasized that XRP has eclipsed Bitcoin in total trading volume since the court's decision on July 13. This feat was announced yesterday by the Crypto Basic, which noted that XRP represented for 20, while Beast accounted for 20. The entrepreneur emphasized this exceptional achievement and challenged his audience to submit their pricing forecasts. Given the recent price swings of XRP and the increased demand poured into the market, most projections have been optimistic.